Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hooga With It. Today I wanted to share with you 5 books that you could most definitely read in one sitting. And I almost think it would be best to read these in one sitting. They're short and sweet, but they pack such a punch. I cannot wait to get into this. Let's do it. So the first book that I want to talk to you about is a book that I've never talked about on this channel before, and it is Feeding the Ghost. This follows a group of people who are on a ship called the Zong. It is a slave ship returning from Africa in 1781, and you follow our main character named Minta. She is a slave on the ship. The captain has decided that in order to save his financial investment, he is going to collect insurance money by killing slaves, and he takes 6 slaves and throws them off of the Zong to die. And we follow Minta, who is a slave, and she is thrown off, and somehow miraculously she's able to cling on and she climbs back on board, but she hides herself at the belly of the ship so that no one can know that she's alive, because they'll just throw her off board again. So she tries to convince the other slaves to rebel. This is wrong. What they're doing to these slaves is wrong, and she tries to have a little uprising on the Zong. I read this years ago. I think I was 17, and so that was many a moon ago. But I loved this book. It is so obviously upsetting. It's actually inspired by a true story, which makes it even more upsetting. That said, it is riveting. You want Minta obviously to win, and you want the slaves to rebel, and you want them to pay for what they're doing to people. And it's also a very short book. It's just over 200 pages, and I think that it is the perfect book to read in one sitting. The only reason that I think it would be hard to read in one sitting is I imagine this would be emotional and you might need to take a little break. But if you can get through it in one sitting, I would recommend it. The next book that I want to recommend you read in one sitting is Every Heart a Doorway. Now this is a little more uplifting. This is about a group of kids who have gone to other worlds. So some of them go to Narnia, and some of them go to the underworld, and others go to Neverland. And when they come back to their own world, they're devastated. They just want to stay in the other worlds that they'd visited. And so when they get back, their parents don't know what to do with them. So they send them to this boarding house where they're in amongst other little boys and girls who've also gone through the same things and gone to other worlds. And it's about them trying to, readjust to living in this world. This is such a magical read. It's like fantasy / YA, I would say. The writing is really good. I was honestly quite surprised. I don't know why. I'd never read this author before, and it's not like I had some reference point, but my goodness, this is good writing and so much fun to read. It is also a series, so if you like this book, there is another book for you to dive into right afterwards if you want to. The next book I want to talk to you about is Pobby and Dingan. This is a very sweet and heartbreaking story about a little girl who has imaginary friends named Pobby and Dingan. And one day, her father brings Pobby and Dingan to work, and he promptly forgets them there, and she is devastated. Devastated to the point that she is sick with worry. It's actually unclear whether she becomes sick because she was already sick with something else, or whether she becomes sick because she's sick with worry about Pobby and Dingan. She has a brother who thinks this whole invisible friends thing is ridiculous. What is she thinking? But he sees his sister just going through the worst and being so ill that he decides to try and corral the town together to find Pobby and Dingan. It's a lovely story and I'd highly recommend it. Next, I would recommend I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. This follows a girl who's on a road trip with her boyfriend. She's going to go and visit his parents and meet them for the first time. And they live on a little farm in the middle of nowhere. And so they're on the road, and the whole time that they're on the road, she's like, I think I want to break up with him. And at the same time that that is happening, she keeps getting these calls and she won't pick up the phone because she has a stalker. She has someone who will keep calling her over and over again and leaving very disturbing messages. It is so good. This book, it's almost meant to read in one sitting. I will definitely read this book again. Thrillers are not usually something that I want to pick up more than once. This one, I think I could pick up 5 or 6 times and get something new from it because it is brilliant. Finally, the last book is A Monster Calls. Oh, this is just a heartbreaking book. You will cry. Get some Kleenex before you sit down with this one. This is about a little boy whose mother is very ill and he is coming to terms with it. I'm not going to say more. It's very short. But it packs a real punch, and I don't want to ruin anything for you, but it's wonderful, and I cried a lot reading that one. Anyway, these are the books that I think you could read in one sitting. Let me know what books you have read in one sitting that you've absolutely loved. I'd love to know. Leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!